Tina O here from Tina O Life, and this is Sanctuary Sunday. Today's conversation, today's sanctuary, today's bubble we are drawing around our time of the sanctuary time is the sanctuary of dropping in. What does that mean, right? For me, dropping in is dropping into that space of awe, dropping into that space of love, dropping into that space of bigness. And I left a message for a friend today who is, her business is called the Keeper of the Well. And what she is a spiritual mentor, or I would just call her, she's a bigness mentor. Because bigness is that experiential place where we can get lost. And it's so easy to get lost in the awe of beauty, right? That's a desirable place to get lost, in the awe of beauty. It is a beautiful, it's so easy to talk about getting lost in the bigness of love or the bigness of joy. But what about the bigness of sorrow, or the bigness of grief, the bigness of despair, the bigness of anger and pain, the bigness of emptiness? It's in those places where the experience is bigger than our experience itself. Sounds kind of strange, but it's like where the experience of that beauty is so exquisite, it behooves us to even describe it. It's like one of those you had to be there moments. And some people call it the dark night of the soul when we're talking about the undesirable bigness. And there's something sacred about that. And so this friend of mine is brilliant, and I would say called to walk alongside those who understand that awe state, who share with the world from that place of bigness. Might be the artists of the world, storytellers, spiritual leaders, where that sacred bigness is so second nature to them. And so on this conversation of Sanctuary Sunday, when I talk about dropping in, I'm talking about touching that place. And for those of us in a space that might be the darker version of that, I want to say, never go into a story alone. For those of us who are in a state of joyful bigness, I also say, never go into a story alone. We have lunch after church every Sunday. I usually make soup, and we have a big meal. And this particular Sunday, everybody put the tables out in one big long table. And it was the first time we'd done that. And I looked out and I was like, oh my gosh, look at us all sitting at this table together. And this experience of dropping in, when we're all at the table together, a sense of safety is created because we're not in that story alone. I go to church on Sundays. It's the one place in my life, and I've cultivated a few spaces, but it's the one place in my life where the container of those four walls, of those people, of the agreements of dropping in that space, is held as sacred. Therefore, I can walk into that room in the fullness and the bigness of me and know that I belong. I don't know where you create sanctuary like that, but I invite you today on this Sanctuary Sunday to think about dropping in. And where do you go where you belong and you can drop into the bigness that is so much more than your or our ability to describe the experience, where the experience itself is bigger than the experience. I think those places are where we plug in. I think those places are where we remind ourselves of how beautiful this life is. I'm Tina O from Tina O Life, and this is Sanctuary Sunday and the sanctuary of dropping in. And I invite you to drop into awe today. Have a great day.